R.I.P. Brangelina. 20 touching photos of Hollywood's golden couple through the years. Come on, world, really? Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were the golden couple. Beautiful people with beautiful children, and we assumed a beautiful relationship too. It seemed that if anyone could make it through the Hollywood relationship minefield, surely it would be them. But no, it's all over now, and all their fans have left to console themselves with is memories of their better days. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt fell in love while making the 2005 spy flick Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But it certainly wasn't plain sailing from there. Not because of them, but because of the third person in the equation, Jennifer Aniston, Pitt's then-wife. It was an awkward time for all three of them, and as the tabloids went into meltdown, Aniston filed for divorce. Jolie and Pitt, meanwhile, completely failed to pretend, like in the above photo, that they weren't together. An opportunist took advantage of the whole situation to shill Team Jolie and Team Aniston t-shirts. Yet Pitt and Jolie overcame it all. It seemed that whatever had happened between them hadn't just been a marriage-wrecking fling. Instead, it appeared to be real, true love. And so, although Aniston still got a hefty share of sympathy, the press quickly warmed to the couple, now crowned Brangelina. And as the original chaos died down, the couple moved fast. By mid-2006, for one, Jolie had given birth to her and Pitt's first child, Shiloh. Pitt had also formally adopted Maddox and Zahara, Jolie's adopted children. But it wasn't until December 2006 that Jolie finally opened up about the relationship and how it all began. In the closing month of 2006, moreover, Jolie gave an interview to People explaining what had happened. Because of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we ended up being brought together to do all these crazy things. And I think we found this strange friendship and partnership that kind of just suddenly happened, she divulged. We just kind of became a pair. This kind of a pair was now the biggest power couple in Hollywood, despite not actually being married. And their young children were very much in the spotlight too. So much so, in fact, that when Jolie gave birth to twins Vivian and Knox in 2008, the first pictures of them sold for $14 million. Such was the power of Brangelina. And it wasn't until the end of 2008 that the famous love triangle reared its head again. Jolie told New York Times that she wanted her kids to watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith because not a lot of people get to see a movie where their parents fell in love. And Aniston, for her part, condemned that statement as inappropriate. But that wasn't anywhere near enough to dim the public's love for Brangelina. They were gorgeous, they had 6 gorgeous children, and they had no concerns about touching or kissing in public. In fact, they were a media dream. And gradually, both of them were undergoing an image change too. Jolie had previously been a bit of a wild child, notorious for outrageous antics like wearing her previous husband, Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck. Pitt, meanwhile, was known for being successful and sexy, but not much else. But when these two personalities combined, it created something that extended well beyond Hollywood. Indeed, the couple began to get seriously involved in politics, and surprisingly, they did it very well indeed. They donated millions to humanitarian causes, spoke out about important matters, and generally became known as an extremely politically conscious and intelligent pair of people. And while balancing political and charitable causes with Hollywood careers and 6 children can't possibly be easy, somehow Brangelina were pulling it off. The world applauded their every move, even as the media started to question when they would actually marry. Jolie brushed off speculation by saying that her and Pitt already considered themselves basically married and were focusing on raising their children. However, in 2012, the media once again went into meltdown when it emerged that Pitt and Jolie had gotten engaged after all. It's a promise for the future, and their kids are very happy. Pitt's manager, Cynthia Pet Dante, confirmed to People. But even in the middle of this happy period, the tabloids were doing what tabloids do best, looking for trouble in paradise. Not a week went by, it seemed, when there wasn't a rumor that the couple had been seen arguing or were on the very brink of going their separate ways. The rumors ranged from the plausible to the ridiculous, and several of them managed to drag Aniston back into the media circus again too. Aniston herself was now more or less out of the Brangelina equation though. In 2012, she herself had become engaged to actor and director Justin Theroux. Yet the media couldn't stop relentlessly inventing scenarios in which Pitt and Jolie were secretly, desperately unhappy, despite, of course, photographic evidence to the contrary. Unfortunately, 2013 dealt a genuine blow for the couple, and especially for Jolie. She discovered that she had an 87% chance of developing breast cancer, and so she opted to have a double mastectomy. But throughout this difficult time, she had the support of both Pitt and her children. The health scare and the way the couple handled it resulted in a fresh rush of appreciation for the two. In fact, Jolie's openness about her medical issues even resulted in a huge increase of at-risk women opting to undergo life-saving double mastectomies. And so by the time Pitt and Jolie finally wed in 2014, love for them was practically at an all-time high. The wedding was a sedate but peaceful affair that put the couple's 6 children firmly at the center of proceedings. And it was safe to say that no one, not even the tabloids who had analyzed the relationship for any hint of a crack, could have guessed that it would only last 2 years. But sadly, that's exactly what happened. As it turned out, marriage was the death knell for Brangelina, and in hindsight, their 2015 film, By the Sea, about a couple breaking up, was the warning of what was to come. At the time, however, Jolie insisted to The Telegraph, "Brad and I have our issues, but if the characters were even remotely close to our problems, we couldn't have made the film." But unfortunately, those issues, whatever they may have been, won out in the end. And in September 2016, social media went crazy when the news hit that the marriage was no more. Some people laughed, some people cried, and a lot of people posted pictures of Jennifer Aniston looking smug. But one thing was certain, things would never quite be the same. R.I.P. Brangelina. You had a great run.